Oh, do you want to come up here, buddy? There we are. Okay, so I got a call from just a random guy claiming that he has some of my family's old tools. I was skeptical at first. It's been like 100 years now. How would any of this stuff still survive? Well, apparently my great uncle still had a shop in a nearby town. There's a whole bunch of brothers, and they all kind of like split up and did their own practices. Some went to the silver mine, some went to farmlands where they built farm equipment by hand. They were brilliant, craftspeople that thought everything was lost to the sands of time. Well, it turns out there was a time capsule of my family's history stashed away and forgotten. It took several people. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a bit of a hermit, and it took several people to slowly kind of work their way to me to where they got my number. They were able to call me up and get me out there. So I went down and got a preliminary, just what am I getting myself into? I was a little skeptical. I was kind of protecting my heart because I didn't want to be let down, right? And let me tell you what, I have never been so surprised and just shocked by what was there. We're talking giant gear-driven rollers, bizarrely reminiscent to the roller that I built when I was a teenager. I had no idea I had this family history when I got started. I only found out in my 20s. It's so eerie. There's drill presses, 100-year-old lathes. Everything is ancient, and it's their original works from coal forges. And there's a power hammer. I've never had a power hammer in my life. You're looking at the power hammer right now. Sorry, excuse me. When I went down there, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm quite excitable. And I was just electric. But I was able to load up the back of my truck. Let's see what I found. You ready? All right. So, I know it's just a stump, but it's about what went on top of it. And it's back there. I just kind of was able to have enough time to just kind of grab a couple bins. There's a lot more in there, but I just kind of started loading up my truck, and once it was full, it was time to skedaddle. But I'll be back to get every little scrap of iron I can get. Oh. God, don't you love just how things were made back in the day? Everything was just tongue and groove and made to last. I mean, these things are about 100 years old, so it clearly lasted for a reason. The cool little just bin box. Just an absolute treasure trove of square head lags. I'll be able to make all sorts of stuff with these things. More lags. Whoa. Check out this old shear. So this thing is handmade. You can clearly tell that this is a handmade rig on a sawhorse. Currently it's seized up, but if I put some penetrating oil in there, I know I'll be able to break that thing loose, and I can have this thing working today. Whoa. All right. Honestly, I didn't have enough time to even go through any of this stuff. Who knows what's in here? I mean, like, look at this. It's a big old tap tool. So exciting. Now check these out. So these are wagon wheel spokes, but I'm gonna use them as hammer handles. How cool. I'll be able to re-handle a lot of my hammers with wagon wheel spokes from my great uncle's shop. Come on. I see what you're looking at. After this though. Now this is almost spooky, and I'll show you why here in a second. But the piece of resistance. Yeah, I know what you were looking at. What do you think about that? Woo! Now that is an old anvil. And we're gonna clean this thing up. I have a sneaking suspicion what it is, but I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna keep my suspicions to myself, and we're gonna see who made this anvil. Couple pairs of tongs, some old bolts, and I'm just gonna put use to all this stuff. Look at this cool measuring device. You just roll that along and it would measure for you. Cool block and tackles. Check out this homemade shear with even replaceable blades. I can't believe this. And I mean, it was homemade because look at this. Look at this big iron that they moved to make this thing happen with a big old bar on the end of that. Who knows what they were cutting on. I can't hardly believe this. But I want to show you why this is almost eerie. I was a little tripped out. I mean, this is wild. So I use these big old pour vessels for when I'm, pouring liquid aluminum and especially liquid bismuth. But let me know if you see a pattern here. Now, I know that there's just a certain way you make stuff, but like, it's almost uncanny. Just the way we both made the same exact tools. It's wild. There you go. Okay. So for the moment you've all been waiting for, let's find out who made this anvil. I have a sneaking suspicion what it is, but I'm gonna hold on to that until I get this just a little bit cleaned up. There's one word I can make out on this anvil. It's right. For those of you that know, you know. It's a great anvil. It hasn't been very well taken care of. There's gonna be a lot of work rebuilding this thing, but I would love to get it back into working order. And I'll probably just make an entire video on just bringing her back to life. And wow, I can't hardly believe it. Peter Wright. I would say it's every bit of 200 pounds. Very cool. I need to come back down with a trailer. I don't even know if my truck will pull all this equipment, but we're gonna find out. I'm a chosen family kind of a guy, but the fact that I'm able to trace my lineage back and find their old tools and breathe new life in them, clean them up, it kind of blows my mind a little bit. I can't believe this has happened. And I'm excited to rebuild everything, refurbish everything, re-pour all the lead bearings and just modernize and be able to use these tools every day and hopefully make them proud one day. And as always, my friends, thank you for watching.